Okay folks, well welcome everybody to our first run for 2011. I didn't think we'd have too many out this morning, but I commend you on making the effort on this lovely summer's day. This morning we're doing the Ray Miels Memorial Run, and I think many of the older members here would remember Ray, and it's lovely to have Joy with us this morning. Where are you, Joy? Here? Lovely to have you. She's travelled all the way down from Williston to be with us, and it's great to have her with us. Brenton and Norma Hamilton were going to be here, but I don't know that they've arrived. They were a couple of brave hearts that set out from Victor Harbour, I thought, to come here, but didn't make it. But we do have, courtesy of Ashley Farrow, a great friend of the Miels, Ray and Joy, and that's Kevin Fagan. Where are you, Kevin?
I'm trying to hide behind it.
Okay. Welcome, Kevin. It's good that you could come out. Kevin's been struggling a bit with a few health issues, but it's good that he could come and be with us this morning and to share in this little tribute that we're going to do to Ray. And so this morning, as we remember the great times that many of you had with Ray, it'd be good if we could do just a tribute to him in a short while, and I've asked Graham McRae. Graham knew Ray quite well, and so Graham, would you like to take over and just pay a little tribute to Ray?
Thanks, Lizzie. Those of you who didn't know Ray, and I assume there'd be quite a few who didn't, I met Ray first in, must have been around mid-80s when I joined TAFE. I was working at Parafield. Ray was the head of the school of automotive training, or whatever it was called, at Elizabeth, and we shared a lot of resources. And one of the most interesting things that I come across with Ray was his way of dealing with bureaucracy. Now, those of you who have had any dealings with bureaucracy, and everybody does, they generate large amounts of paper. And I just joined this large organisation. I was being flooded with paperwork and forms to fill out, and I'm sure there's someone in head office that's sitting there really needs to know how many left-handed Lithuanian Arab speakers you have in your classes. They're really good. So after I'd been inundated with all this stuff, I said to Ray, what do you do with all this paperwork? Because as the head of the group, where he was at Elizabeth, he got a lot more than I did. I said, oh, that's easy. I just read through them. The ones that are vital I keep, the others go straight in the bin. Everything. And I thought, oh. And he said if it's important they'll come back to me. And very rarely do they actually come back to me. And I thought, that's a good way of doing it. And I've adopted that, so you can have that one as a freebie. It works. Most of them don't come back. Those of you who went on rallies with him would have enjoyed him. He liked the port, and he was a very entertaining person on rallies. Luckily I had the Nash 4, and before that the 36 Dodge, and I never had to compete with him for fuel economy, because of course everybody who had a Dodge 4 could never get as good a fuel economy as Ray did. Very interesting.
His spare can in the back.
Yeah, I think he had a larger fuel tank, or his gallons were bigger or something like that.
He also was smart enough to ask you what you were getting, and if you said 12, he'd say, I'm getting 13.
Yeah.
He always asks you first.
It's like people at swap meets. They say, is that a part of a Dodge? They'll always say yes, even if it's on something else. But he was a very entertaining person, very personable, and certainly enjoyable to be with on runs. So, from that point of view. However, all was not sweetness and light. He did have one personal trait that I absolutely hated. If you went to Joy and Ray's place, which I did quite often, and you said to Ray, do you have a left-handed widget? He could go into his shed and find it. Unlike my shed where things go into it and I'm sure it's a black hole, they never come out and I never see them again. Today is a classic. You'll notice I'm not wearing a badge. The reason why, I have 3 badges. And I've taken the house apart and I can't find any of it. So that was one thing that...
Look at the glove box.
I've looked there. So that was one of the few things that Ray used to irritate me with. He could always find things. Now whether that was Joy's keeping him up to scratch, keeping his things tidy, or whatever, it was good, but very annoying. I'd come home and say, I must sort my gear out. Well, that was rather a long time ago, and it still hasn't been sorted out, and I still can't find something. Anyway, in memory of Ray, we do this run, and he's sorely missed. However, Father Christmas at the Gawler Club will probably not miss having Ray sit on his knee.
Thank you, Graham.
That's people that have fried eggs for breakfast won't miss him stabbing them.
I never had the pleasure of knowing Ray, but it sounds like he was quite a character, and I'm sure many miss him. And it's good that we can carry out this run and remember Ray and the great things that he did for this club. And so thank you all for attending. Just a couple of reminders before we head off on our run this morning. Next Sunday, of course, is registration day here from 10 o'clock. Yes, thank you, Kathy. And of course, Wednesday week, the 9th, is the AGM. Whoopee.
The excitement.
Thank you all for coming. This morning we're going out to Tranmere, and Brenton, you've got some run sheets.
Greg's got some.
So if you like to hand the run sheets around, it's about a 20-minute run. I've checked it out a couple of times. When we get there, it's a little bit tricky. We will park on the north side of the park, and there's parking for about 25 cars, I reckon, in a designated area. Turn off to your left and you'll hop into the car park. If the car park is filled, just go up. There's a divided road. Just go up and do a U-turn, and there's plenty of parking on the northern side of the road, of the street. So I'm sure you'll follow it quite well. It's explained quite well on the run sheet. And so we'll see you out there. Enjoy your day. We look forward to some great fellowship out there. And good food too, I might add. Thank you.
That depends on the course.
Bye.